Hi everybody, it's Becky, and we are live today with Thirsty Thursdays. I've got my trusty decaf coffee, and I'm joined happily by Amber Craft. Hopefully, we'll have Jazz later, but she's dealing with a family issue. My trusty decaf coffee. Muting. Hold on.
See, I hit mute. Mine didn't work. So.
Yeah, I forgot that part. Yeah. So today we're talking about celebrating the little victories. So it's February. It's the first Thirsty Thursdays of February, and we're just like, hey, we've done some good stuff this year, so let's go ahead and talk about it. And one of the good things is happening later this week because Miss Amber is publishing a book. Yay!
Years of labor of love.
Indeed. I'm so happy and proud, and I will be buying it as soon as it's up properly. And one of the good things that I was able to do was actually get my shit together this morning. I am not having a good day, but look, I have my face made up, I have my hair done, and I kind of look okay. So yay!
You're looking better than me.
I feel like I'm gonna die, but I don't look it. So.
Well, see, you're looking better than me. At least you have lipstick on. I have Carmex on because my lips are chapped because it's been storming here for a few days and the wind has been so strong. My lips are just cracking. So no lipstick.
I'm pretty sure you have every excuse in the world to wear Carmex right now.
Yeah,
no, it's actually warm over on this side of the country because climate change.
Let me just tell you, I wore some of this yesterday to work, and I got so many compliments. I bought this. It's called Glitterazzi by Hard Candy, and I wore the teal green yesterday to work, but I can't get this one out of the package. This is purple, and you put it on, and it looks like regular lipstick, but within 30 minutes, the glitter comes out, and it's just so amazingly awesome. So
nice.
If you haven't heard of it, it's at Walmart. Go get it. It's new and it's amazing.
Ooh. I don't really wear glitter like that, so I'll have to figure out a reason to wear the glitter part.
See,
I'm usually a matte person.
That's the great thing about being goth is the more glitz, the better.
True. Very true.
That's one thing I hate.
Reasons to wear glitter randomly.
Yeah, that's the only thing I hate about live streams is people don't see, like, because usually, like, we do ours in the morning, and then Alina's is in the morning, and then by the time I get everything ready for the day and do Sarah's, then I'm just too exhausted. I've already taken all my goth clothing, makeup off, because I've run around all day. So, like, I was like, we're just going to wear this to work and see what everybody thinks. Mm-hmm. It's so pretty. So, I'm throwing stuff on myself.
What is the one skill that you've learned through the publishing process that's helped carry you through all the way to your upcoming release date?
I think the one thing I've learned the most, and this is kind of odd, but like I did the beta reading process for this book like 4 or 5 years ago when I first split it all up. And I knew it wasn't all correct. I knew there was plot holes, but I had read it so much over the years, just splitting it up from 1 book to 3, that beta readers can be mean. Even though I said that it wasn't right, I needed another look at it. Everybody was like, okay, well, this whole chunk's missing and that whole chunk's missing. And some people don't exactly know how to give the best criticism. But as long as you wear a tough skin as an indie writer, like, you have to be able to take that more than just, if you're traditionally publishing, you have somebody editing that's just like, okay, you need to add this or that. But getting different types of beta readers, you see all aspects of it. So you got, because I split my beta readers with writers and readers. So the writer standpoint, they're like, okay, this is missing and that's missing. And then as a reader, they might not understand all of that, even if you say there are things missing. And they're like, I didn't like this and I didn't like that. I'm like, well, it's not fully developed yet. So
yeah, like they're expecting a finished product even when you say it's a beta.
Yeah. So then when I went through the second beta reading process, I tried to get the same people and was like, okay, now what do you think about it? And the reviews were a lot more positive and a lot more in depth and everything. They're like, oh, I love how you added this and that. And so it really reaffirmed, I guess you could say, that I was on the right track.
Yeah.
Because just having split it up and written it, like I was just too close to the characters and it had split from Unknown Revenge. So it was like I still had the whole book in my head versus just this person's story. So I think that's the most I've learned is I thought I had thick skin, but that first beta reading process was hard, dude. I was like, but I'm not done. Just try to get a first impression.
Quit being so mean.
Yeah. So I took like a month off and was like, okay, obviously I don't have as thick a skin as I thought I did. Time to reaffirm that with myself and get to work.
Yeah. I think because mine isn't for a couple of months, but
right.
There's a lot more investment than I realized. I just shelled out the $300 for the editor, and I just started paying an additional $53 a month for Adobe Creative Cloud so I can do the graphics design and make sure I have my documents and everything correct when I do contracts.
Yeah, I bought that too.
And being able to make layouts and stuff for people. And I didn't think that it was going to be this big of a process. And honestly, neither did any of the rest of my family. Like, everybody's like, wow, you're really putting a lot into this. Like, yeah, I actually wanted to sell.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works.
Well, and for anybody who doesn't have the new Adobe, it's not as easy to learn as the old one.
No.
Like, the last one I had, the last Adobe I had was in like 92, 93. And it was so easy to use. And now it's like, where did all my buttons go?
Yeah, like I used to use Paint Shop Pro, Animation Shop. Mm-hmm. That stuff is totally changed. So I'm taking Skillshare classes because Alina suggested them.
Yeah,
and I still have the membership. So I'm taking the graphics design hero class right now. And I just downloaded it. Just finished downloading all the programs, and I started downloading it like over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking crazy, but I got it done now. So I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and start, finish up the classes. Yeah. And then I'm going to basically do a class every week. And then once I have it down, I'm going to start fiddling with the program on my own. And then once I have a good sized portfolio, then I'm going to start looking at making a business plan. Like, I never thought that making a script would be part of it. I haven't made a screenplay or script in 10 years since drama class. And making a business plan. Luckily for me, my mother has an MBA. So I'm like, hey, Ma, I'm going to send you my business plan. You make sure you check it out and help me out and see if it looks right. And what else? Graphic designer, voice artist for my for me anyway. And actually, I didn't know this. There are a good amount of authors who actually do their own voice acting for the audiobooks. Like there was one, oh my goodness. It was I gotta do a review about this book because I want to actually read it all the way. This guy, he wrote the book. It's about a guy who's like half dead, but he's it's down, I think, in Louisiana, I think. And he senses like other dead people that are walking around and stuff. And it's his job to basically take them down. And but there's only a couple of people in the world who basically are in between life and death, like he is. And it's just like, oh my God, you're just like me. And just like the whole storyline is really cool. And the way that he talks about it, I've only gotten through like a couple minutes of it because I'm freaking busy, but I'm going to read the rest of it and do a review on it because it's really good. But that one, and then there's a zombie one that I found on LibriVox. I didn't think that that was a thing. So it's like I did not know that an author had to wear so many hats to be able to publish a book the way that, you know, for a lot of times to publish the book the way that they want. They have to wear all these hats. I didn't know that. So yeah. I think that's one thing for sure that I've learned is that, and I can't narrow it down to one skill because I've had to learn all of these different skills just to be able to get the book done. And now I'm learning so many other skills to be able to get the book out and, you know, marketed well. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you think about writing a book as just like you're wearing the writing hat and the drafting hat and the editing hat and the marketing hat.
Mm-hmm.
But then within each of those, like the marketing isn't just marketing. It's not just social media marketing. It's not just word of mouth marketing or pictures or whatever. Yeah, when you step into the audio side of it, there's 20 more freaking hats. And I want to go into that part, but I'm like, let's one thing at a time. Like, I know what I want to do, but baby steps. I want to get the book out, and then we're going to work on getting my company started while I'm researching and taking Skillshare classes myself for Adobe because I want to learn how to make book covers all myself so I don't have to outhouse that for my business. And so it's like one step at a time. When you throw that into life, into overtime, and I got too much on my plate as it is. Let's just take some of it off, and then we'll add more to it.
Yeah. Let's take it step by step.
You know me. I'm all about multitasking and having 20 different things going on at one time, but even I have to draw a line.
You multitask a little bit. You got like what, 3 jobs? You got mom, you got 2 jobs, and you got the writing, and you're trying to build this company. You're crazy.
Yeah. Well, I actually took one of those down. I quit McDonald's because of all the overtime we had. So I basically added my new business, getting that started off of McDonald's because I was like, well, I'm making so much money in overtime that there's just no point. And it takes a lot of stress off of me from dealing with weird customers and teenage workers that don't want to show up. And that was just something I had to make a decision. So for the first time, I shit you not, for the first time since I was 16, I only technically have one paying job.
Nice.
So 15 years of 2 or more jobs, not even including mother of a competitive gymnast with, yeah.
Yes, and motherhood is a job all on its own.
Yeah. Let's not add the craziness that is my child, which she gets it honestly, but she's a competitive gymnast and she plays both the violin and the cello. So,
wow. Like mother, like daughter?
Yeah. And you have 3 generations of that now living in one house. So it's like, she gets it honestly. And she sees how I got it honestly.
Like, everybody is on 10 at that house, apparently.
Yeah. Well, and I started training somebody at work last night, and he goes, "You really don't stop, do you? You're really that fast." I'm like,
if I stop, I'll die. Yeah. Do you understand that? Look at me.
Yeah. Well, it's like last weekend, I had to work on one of my off days. Like, I usually have Friday, Saturday off, and we do 12 hours on Sunday and Monday, and then we're supposed to only have to do 6 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But I've been doing another 6 on top of it. So I've been doing 12 hours basically Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And then I had to work a 12-hour on Friday. And so I went to work, and the guys were like, I went to work on Friday, and they're like, "Why are you so hyper?" I'm like, "Because I'm jacked up on soda." And they're like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I haven't slept since Thursday at 2 p.m. Get used to it tonight." They're like, "You're not falling over?" I'm like, "No, this is normal for me." They just don't believe me that I only sleep 3 to 4 hours a day if I'm lucky, and that Thursdays I just get up at 2 and don't sleep. So
yeah, people don't understand that. Like last night, it's not even like I tried to sleep 3 hours. I actually tried to sleep longer. Unfortunately, I live next to I sleep next to a garbage disposal.
mm-hmm.
So I can't sleep. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and get some work done.
Yeah. Yeah, and see, I don't work on Wednesdays.
I'll sleep during the day.
I don't do a 12-hour on Wednesday because we have our chats on Thursdays, and usually I have physical therapy and stuff. And so I was like, I actually got sleep last night. So they're going to be like, what's wrong with you? You're not hyper when I go to work today, because I'm going to stay up all day. And then I have a 12-hour shift tonight. So it's going to be interesting.
That sounds delightful.
And then I tell them everything we have planned for the weekend, and they're like, how are you going to get all that done? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
And this morning, I woke up late, and then Ryan wanted to try and joke with me. I'm like, dude, when have you known me to ever joke in the morning? I wake up in the morning, and I'm like, let's go. Let's do this. I'm going to go get her up. And then I'm going to get you out the door, and you sitting here fucking with me. No.
My goal is to get y'all gone, and that's it.
That's it. That's all I'm like, dude. And he's like, why you got an attitude? I'm like, you know what time it is? Do you know what time I got up? I hate getting up late because I hate rushing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm already pissed off that I woke up late. I'm pissed off that I got to rush. Don't fuck with me right now. Yeah. And he's like, well, I guess I'm going to have to go to work with a bad mood. I'm like,
I didn't go to work.
You're fine. You're fine. You're lucky you're still alive. I love you. Bye.
Yeah. Well, then, so I'll get off work in the morning, and then I have physical therapy for my shoulder after I take care of school. And
what happened to your shoulder?
In January, I started working in an area that I haven't worked in since I had my shoulder surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was like 3 years ago. So I'm using muscles in my shoulder that I haven't repetitively used.
Mm.
And the area I work in is boss coat. So like, imagine, I don't know, a plate and a dart attached to it, like one of those Nerf darts. That's basically what it looks like. And you have to sit here and do this into a mixture to coat it. And so all this right here is getting strained. And it got so strained and so swollen a couple weeks ago that my whole arm started going numb. So I had to go into physical therapy and I guess relearn how to stretch the muscle.
Yeah.
Because when I went 3 years ago, they were all about, flexing the actual shoulder area, and they never gave me stretches for like this area. And I thought I just had a pinched nerve, and I was going to the chiropractor and it wasn't helping, but they gave me extra exercises to do, and so it seems to be helping. But now I got a trainee, so I ain't got to do it all myself.
Yay.
Yeah, so I got physical therapy after that, and then I got to go run errands, and because it's like that snowstorm today, and it started yesterday, so I got a couple errands to run, and yeah, then my sister's both her rearview mirrors, one busted from the cold, and the other one somebody hit it and busted it, so I got to put those in. I got to get my oil changed, and it's just gonna be a weekend. Because I got Sarah's stream Friday, and then Alina's stream on Saturday, and then my stream almost all day, off and on, with my book release on Saturday. And I got a notification for Dana's. Her book's coming out next weekend. I'm going to do a guest appearance on that. So she put a Facebook invite launch thing, and I'm like, why the hell didn't I think about that? Like, all the hats I've got going on, why was that not a marketing hat I thought about?
What?
Like to do a Facebook event thing for people that wanted to join into the live stream launch.
Nice.
So I'm going to do that as soon as we get off here. So I guessed up here. So, but I've been wearing so many hats doing overtime and just trying to survive January that it just totally didn't cross my mind. So Yeah.
It's yeah, and this is like another thing, you learn more things that other people are doing, and you learn like how to apply it to your own stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a new planner. I got a new planner. I'm so excited. It's an actual planner this time. I actually invested in a planner.
I'm still doing the Omni journal.
Yeah. I still have the one with the fluorescent stuff, but I'm just gonna use that for like notes and lists and stuff, because that's basically what I've been using it for. And I'm just like, it's not that good for a calendar, but it's good for making notes and for doodling and stuff.
Yeah.
And what else?
I'll tell you one thing I have learned doing this book is, like, I knew everything from listening to other people and like Alina and Sarah and getting their books out and things like that. I've learned in order what I need to do as far as marketing and launching and all that. But then there's always something like Dana creating that thing, and I'm like, okay, let's find out where that belongs on the list, because I obviously forgot it. So, because you don't think about it as an indie launcher, like you're like, okay, the book's coming out, and I'm talking to all my writer friends, and you know, people come on the live streams and they hear about it. So I'm marketing, you know, I'm branding. And there's always that one thing, you know, we're all human, that we're like, why didn't I think of that? Why did that slip my purview? That makes perfect sense. So, yeah, I'm like, as I go through this process, I'm like revising my, I guess, in order to do list. Like, you have a whole list, you know, you have to do, but I'm putting them in order so that come next year or come my first client's book, that I make sure I do all that in order so that I don't forget and don't mess up again. Because it's a little thing, but it's a little thing that can affect mass selling of your book. And I've never been first at anything. I want to see, you know, be on the top 5 or the top 10 list, you know, come release day. And I can't do that if I don't do all the marketing.
Yep, exactly. And as far as like, I can't really think of another skill that I've learned, but it's just more so stuff that I've been able to share with my family, because I'm the first author in the family, like one of the first. I do have an uncle that published a book before me, but I'm the first young author, basically. And within the little close family, I'm the first author. And everyone's like, you know, basically trying to, I guess, live vicariously through me, because they're all wanting to have their own books. And I'm just like, then fucking right.
Yeah.
But and the crazy thing is like they're also like very completion oriented. They're like waiting, like, wait, when is it gonna be out? Are you gonna do this? Why isn't anything finished? And I'm like,
why is it taking so long?
Yeah, why is it taking so long? I'm like, okay, how many pages in it? I don't know how many pages is in it, because I only know the word count. Okay, so how many words are in it? 57,000 words. Like, oh wow, that's a lot. Yeah. That's why it's taking so freaking long.
Well, yours is 57. What would they say if you told them mine's 113?
Oh God, I'm pretty sure they shit a brick. And I haven't even like told them about the outside, like that's after editing. That's after taking a chunk of it out. So before it was like almost 60 to 70. And I'm like, you have no idea what, like, it's like you want to say that you want to write a book, but imagine writing an essay every freaking day. And that's like a chapter. One essay equals like one chapter. Like a college essay is like one chapter. And people don't understand that.
I think the basic misconception is because people just go to a store and they buy a book. Whether it's traditional or self-publishing, it takes almost a year for a huge book You know, like you can write a novella and publish it, and Elena, dear God, her and Claire are crazy writing so many words and publishing as often as they do. I couldn't imagine it. But like, it's 113,000 words, and that's after I edited it. It started at 124,000, and I had to beta read it twice, and then it, you know, the cover took forever because of issues, and oh my God, the formatting took 6 months alone. Otherwise, it would have been out already last year. All that takes time, and you don't have somebody else doing it, so you can go about your normal life. So,
and you don't have you don't have that big chunk, healthy chunk, because you're doing indie.
Yeah, so
you don't have that upfront money.
Yeah, so in some ways, it's no different than traditionally publishing, because instead of approving things like you would in traditional and having people do it for you, you're having to wear all the hats while you have a life. It's not somebody else doing it for you, and you're living your life or writing the next book to your leisure. So I think that's like the biggest misconception with indie authors, is that it should just come out quicker.
And another one that I'm trying to help my family understand, this is more so my boyfriend, because he's like, well, like he's excited that I'm doing all this myself, because all the money that I get is going to be my own. Right. And then he's like, and you might even get a movie deal. I'm like, baby, I don't care about no movie deal.
Stop going that far.
J.K. Rowling. And he doesn't, he's finding out that all of these different movies that he's seen were based on books.
Yeah.
Like Divergent and stuff like that. But I'm just like, not every good book turns into a movie. And not every movie that has, you know, come from a book is good. And not, you know, so I'm not trying to create crap. And because it's just going to be an even bigger pile of crap on a movie screen. So,
well, I mean, look at like, what book is it? Independence Day. You watch that movie, and that movie is awesome. But the book is so much more in detail and, in my mind, vivid more than you see in a 3-second, you know, clip of that you see in the movie. You know, you get to feel it and experience it more, and you know, it's just a different type of thing, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you have it in movie theaters, excuse me, you're opening yourself up to another shade of criticism.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because it's not just the actual book choices that you're getting criticized on. Now you're getting criticized on how the book was portrayed in film.
Yeah.
And the book is being, I guess, interpreted because of the film. So, before people even read a page of your book, maybe somebody has a bad opinion of it because they saw the movie, and the movie was crap because you picked the wrong damn director.
Yeah. Well, and even within that, there's even more, because like, okay, like a book I kind of have mixed reviews on. I like the book, but there's some things personally as a writer I don't like. As a reader, it's great. Like A Discovery of Witches. It was written in 2011. It's a historical fantasy, and so she's had all that criticism until now, and then last year they turned it into a like series show, and then now they're turning it into a movie. So not only has she had a slew of reviews as a writer, but now she's, you know, had a year of reviews as a series, which may or may not be fully based on the book. I haven't watched it because I just heard about it last week. So, you know, Sundance calls it like a binge-worthy TV series, but I don't know how much it's based on the book. So then you've got those reviewers that are like, if it's not fully based on the book, well, it's not the same thing. It's not blah, blah, blah. Now you've got the book, the movie coming out, and if it's not based on the book a lot, then you've got those critics.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on how, I guess, how far you want to go with it, or how, I don't know, how worthy you are. Dana, we're talking about A Discovery of Witches. Like, the book was great, but I don't know how the series show is, and I don't know how the movie's gonna be. And there are some people that if it's not exactly like the book, they don't want to watch it.
Exactly. And
so,
I mean, of course, I would love those royalties, but it's just me personally, I like watching movies sometimes more than a book, depending on the actual, like, how the plot is portrayed and everything. It doesn't really matter to me if it's like the book or not, because like one of my favorite TV series is the Legend of the Seeker. And I'm actually reading the book that the series is based on, and it's totally different, but I'm finding it interesting to read just because it's an interesting book, not because of the series at all. And I can relate some stuff back to the series, but I'm just like, it's just like a different, a different book that's kind of based on the, that I can kind of, relate to the TV series. But in some ways, the TV series is better because there's more visual aspects that you can directly see. And there's, in some ways, the book has better visual aspects because there's better descriptions. So it's like, my boyfriend's like, every time he talks about how it being successful, he's like, well, maybe you'll get a book deal. I'm like, that's not my end goal. If it happens, awesome. My end goal is to make my writing and writing based businesses into my, my career. I can't work because of my disabilities. So this is going to be, what I do for work. And I want to be able to, show my daughter and my nieces and nephews that no matter what happens in your life, that you still can, make a living. You can still live what you want, live the life that you want if you're willing to work for it. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I think that's another thing that I've really realized, is that even though I have this goal, it's not as cut and dry. It's not as clear. It's I don't know how much, I'm going to be able to make with the book. I don't know how well my graphics design business is going to come off, or the other businesses that I want to get off the ground. And like my degree, I got it so I could start a home spa business in my house. I can't even use that degree now, aside from helping writers with self-care. So it's like, I don't know. There's no secure thing that tells me how much I'm going to make. There's no real stability in my business right now. And I guess that's something that I really had to come to terms with. And writing this book is like, I can get it out there and I can say, hey, I wrote a book, and, make the marketing materials, buy the stuff, send it out, have my book launch, have book signings. Nothing is for certain. And the only thing that's going to make it work is that I keep pushing it out and then I keep trying. That's another thing that I learned.
And I think, like we were talking about in the beginning, you have to celebrate the little victories, because there are so many things to do and so much entailed in just writing the book. And you could go big with this first one and it get the view of somebody, and it could launch you. Or you could do like the guy that wrote Atlantis Theory and be 5 books in, and now suddenly somebody wants to read it. And I've read the first 2. I haven't read past that, but like, it could come off great. It could not. But you've built this base of fans just off the books, and you've done well as an indie author. So as long as you're following your dreams and I know they say less than, I think, 2% of people that say they want to write ever do. But within the indie publishing, how many people can say I wrote 1 book and it became a movie versus 5 or 6 books and it became a movie? Some people never get either one of those. But just to be able to say that I am living proof, especially us as mothers of daughters, because daughters are more influenced by their parents, I think, than most boys. But
Mm-hmm.
just to be able to look at your kids and say, this is what can happen. I didn't just settle for okay. I didn't just find a job to make money and survive. I followed my dreams, and you can too. You're living proof of that. You know, not only am I the first author in my family, but I'm the first one that's actually doing that, that's following their dreams and refusing to listen to everybody else. And yeah, it's one thing if you have a job you love that you found, you know, in the workforce, but if you're actually having to plow through the crap and the stigma of writing and being an author, like, to me, that's just even more noteworthy every time you get even the smallest, hey, I got my cover, you know, congrats. Hey, I wrote my first draft, congrats. Like, that's a huge accomplishment that a non-writer is not going to be able to understand, that somebody that didn't bust their butt and follow their dreams is not going to be able to understand. And I think that's why the writing niche, I'm so happy that it's, you know, AuthorTube has expanded the way it is, because when I first got on YouTube, I found like 4 writers. And at the time it was called WriteTube. And like, it just wasn't, I don't know, maybe because we didn't link it to Facebook and I don't know, somehow we didn't get the following going. And I got really discouraged. I was like, you know, in Texas, I couldn't find anybody. And granted, the internet wasn't that great. You had to read traditional books and go, hey, they live near me. And even now we're all across the US and we span the globe, but we can communicate and we can get advice from people and, you know, work together. And that's such a relief in the community. It just keeps you going and it drives you with the sprints and the videos. And I just think that that's great. Even if you only ever publish and you never go big with movies, you know, non-writers think, oh, it's got to be a movie. There's tons of books that never become a movie. I mean,
yeah.
But it doesn't take away from the fact that you wrote a book from start to finish. Your name is in print. So.
Yeah, and it's like that sort of legacy mindset. Even if you don't, if you're first, because it's very rare that the first book is the book that makes it out, like makes your that makes you a fortune, you know. And yeah, and that's and really the fact that AuthorTube and the writing community itself being so massive like it is now, that's a victory that not many people will be able to understand either. And I think just even if it's just in our own little world, in our own little in our own minds, if we just say, I was able to get another chapter done, I was able to get some more work on my cover, I was able to get more work on the format, whatever. Even if you take, you know, a couple hours looking at, you know, prices for editors, you know, whatever, what have you, that's a victory in itself. And you and I both are spoonies. It's very difficult sometimes for us to even get out of bed. So that in itself, and being able to get work done, you know, even just going to work, you know, for your regular job and just coming home and not wanting to kill somebody, that's, you know, a little victory. And sometimes just me getting up and getting my kid out the door for school and then hopefully, you know, getting maybe an hour of sleep, that's, you know, those are little victories in themselves. And I'm just happy right now that I'm way further than I thought I would be in this. And I know that you feel the same way with your book. And I'm so proud of you and Jazz, of everything that y'all both have done. Because and especially you, because you're farther than I am, and it just pushes me further to get my book out as well, and to work on my business. And hopefully with my graphic design experience and everything, I can help you out with your publishing company, because I'm here if you need me.
Yep, we'll get you going. But I think I think
as soon as I get the studying down, I
think for me, this book is a little bit even more of an accomplishment for me because than just a normal, the normal accomplishments of having a book come out, because I went the self-publishing route before indie publishing was out. And, I trusted somebody to do the stuff that you would expect a traditional publisher to do, even though I paid them good money to edit it, to give me a good book cover, to do all these things. And I was like proud that my book came out. But then when it came out and there were so many problems with it, I was just like, are you serious? Like, it took my accomplishments to, I don't know, to a bad view, because I was like, in 14 years, I've sold 18 copies because, and I'm okay with that, because it wasn't well written, because it wasn't well edited, and it didn't have plot holes, but like, I didn't know where I wanted to go with the series, because it was more of a proving to someone that I could do it. That was always telling me, you'll never amount to nothing. You only have me. And so not only am I a better writer for it, but I've already seen the mistakes. I've already seen how on top of things you have to be. And in many cases, I'm better for it because I'm okay wearing the hats, because I've already seen what giving somebody else the other hats can do if you don't stay on them. So, and I went through that company a couple weeks ago and was like, just take it down. Just take it all down. I'm going to rewrite the book. And I don't want my brand and myself as a writer to be judged on that first book.
Yeah.
Because right now it has a little glimpse of what the series is, and it's not my best work, and it's not well written as far as editing wise and proofreading. And so I've seen what being proud of something and having just falling down that mountain of avalanche of feelings can be. And so this one just makes me that much more proud of it, because I overcame all that and I learned so much from that it just makes me that much prouder of this book. So,
as far as like current ones, I think that's good. So what kind of goals, I guess, are we thinking about going forward? So what's next after this book gets published?
Well, I have my first client's book. The company I used back then, Dana, was Exlibris, and they were supposed to be the #1 company at the time. And I paid, by the time it was done, almost like $5,000 between the book and marketing.
Damn.
Yeah, it was like $2,500 for like the lowest package, I guess you could say, for the cover and all that. Up? Yeah, they screwed it up royally.
Damn.
And I gave them the cover image, and they put it into this little oval so you can barely tell what it is, because there was like, it's I don't remember if it's Da Vinci's house or Michelangelo's house, but my dad had went overseas and he took a picture of this beautiful garden in the back of their house, and it has a statue at the end of the garden, which is Athena at the end of the garden, and I really wanted that on the book, and they just put it in this little oval so you can't even tell what the picture is. So yeah. As far as going forward, of course, Unknown Love comes out this Saturday. I'm about to start the beta reading process for Unknown Family so that it can be ready by February of next year. And I retyped all of Unknown Revenge, which was the original first book I came out with. And so I've got it all on the cloud, and I'm just editing it a little and making notes so that once I get it all inputted into Word, I can actually go back and incorporate the series into it. So, and then after I do that, then I'll be able to write Unknown Happiness, because Unknown Happiness is one of the siblings from Unknown Revenge, so I didn't remember what my characters looked like. I didn't have a character Bible at the time. I didn't know nothing about that kind of stuff. So
yeah. I just found all that out. I gotta finish mine before the end of the month to make sure I'm good when I start the second book.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to do like a video or something on that, because I have like this huge Excel spreadsheet of like all my books, and each column, each book or whatever is a different color for each character, and that way I make sure from book to book that they have the same appearance. And I'm just gonna start one on world building for each book. That's that word.
Words.
So, right. That's another thing. Nobody thinks about all the things you have to track as a series author. They're just like, "Oh, you're writing another book already?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I got to do some research and some homework on it." And they're like, "Why?" Don't worry about it. We're not going to get into it. Don't
sit there, look pretty. Shh. Yeah. Here's something shiny.
Yeah. But it's really cool because all the guys at work, you know, see the light in my eyes when I talk about my book, and these are grown-ass men, and they're like, "I'll buy a copy as long as you sign it. I'll even read it." I'm like, just buy the copy. I don't know that you want to read it. It's a romance, but yeah. So I'm making flyers and things like that at work, since our HR is not in town. I'm gonna put them out on the tables. That way I can get some copies sold that way too.
Yeah, I know that I'm gonna be able to send out some bookmarks at least to my mom's job. She works at the Navy Exchange Service Command.
Okay.
So I'm going to be able to send all of her coworkers like the custom bookmarks I'm making, and then they can go to my website and order it. And Dana, I just saw your question about the book that I was talking about. I had to look up my Audible because I forgot the damn title. It's Half Resurrection Blues, the Bone Street Rumba, by what's his name? Hold on. Daniel Jose Older. I hope that I didn't butcher that name. But he does the audio for it, and it's freaking amazing. And I forgot the other one. I'll have to post reviews for both that one and the zombie series that I was reading. Because they're actually really good and really well made as far as the audio is concerned. But for me, next thing after I get right now I'm working on the book trailer. I'm working on getting some marketing materials out, like I'm making custom bookmarks right now. And I'm also still trying to get because I just finished the trailer script. I'm going to be working on the actual trailer probably this weekend or this coming week. And then I got to work on the actual layout and work on some other marketing materials like flasks, shot glasses, and finish the cocktail recipe book before I get my the bleeding novel back from Miss Imani. So
yeah, see, I put a video out telling people, you know, I saved so much money on this book. I don't even want to think about the money I'm going to spend on Unknown Family. Like, just the editing and stuff that I saved, the money. Yeah, $300 is cheap compared to what I found.
Well, talk to Imani. She's really good on the actual edits, which is why I wanted to use her. Because I got her. She actually had a sale for 5 chapters, and she did the first 5, and she really liked it, and she went through it, and I really liked the way that she actually did the edits. So talk to her.
Yeah, it's just the fact that my books are so much longer. They're almost always close to 100K or over 100K when I first write the first draft. So yeah, Y'all girls are getting me. Like, how are y'all getting these candles and shot glasses and stuff with marketing stuff on it? Because, like, other than going to make my own on Society 6, I have no idea how you do any of that.
I mean, I'm just gonna put I'm probably just gonna put the name of the book on it or a quote from the book on it on the shot glass or flask. Or just put like Moonlight Springs because that's what the cocktail book is called, named after the hotel that's in the book. I don't know. I think Cafe Press does shot glasses and flasks, but I haven't. I'm gonna try and make the actual design before I go see who can do it. But either way, if I can't do a flask, I'll do mugs.
Because the only place I have found for like making candles and stuff is like on Etsy.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to like do that and order a lot and then people not want them.
And there's one that Jenna Moresi with the Saviors Champion, she was able to get the actual person to make merchandise.
Yeah.
That's the I don't know. I forgot what company it was with but if we get enough sales with that, with the books, you send the information over to them, and I'm pretty sure they have reasonable prices too. But I think that's after the launch and after get good reviews and everything from the book.
Yeah. See, and that was kind of my idea with what I originally wanted to do when I thought I was already going to be in Washington, was to find a local like t-shirt maker and candle maker and things like that, and just make, like you've seen my Nocturnal Readers Club unboxings. Like, I want to make like something like that with a signed copy of the book that you can buy that's like themed to each book. I think that would be really awesome. But since we didn't move, there's nowhere really that does stuff like that around here. So I guess I'll wait till Unknown Family comes out and then just do both, because by then I should be there.
Okay. So. I think that wraps it up basically, but yeah, coming soon, Amber's book Unknown Love, right?
Yep.
Unknown Love is publishing Friday. Please.
Saturday.
Oh my God, Saturday. Excuse me.
I got too much to do on Friday.
Oh my God. Don't we all? But yeah, Saturday, Unknown Love, Amber Craft. Go to her website and her Twitter. Follow her so you can get any inside scoops about the book. And as far as me, I will be hopefully putting out another Wisdom Wednesday coming soon, because I have like 4 or 5 new videos coming out soon. So please, if you aren't subscribed, subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you can get notified when I come out with new videos. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and I will, right now, I don't have anything else other than that, but I will see you guys as soon as I can, and I love you all. Get to work. Bye.
Bye.